Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Black Clover. Last time around we had The Wizard King Saw continued. We're basically, they figured out that Salim was trying to get revenge on Yuno, and then they all got beaten up. Well, not Yuno and the gang, I mean Salim and his gang. They all got beaten up, and it seemed that one of the bandits had escaped. However, that was actually the Wizard King in disguise, and he showed up. Basically, he escaped, got rid of his disguise, and was like, man, these kids, they're so cool. And a star was given to Golden Dawn for their efforts. And then, there seemed to be an anomaly happening that the Wizard King already knew about, and then he decided, maybe they should go on this mission. I'm assuming that means, at the very least, Asta and the Black Bulls, maybe also Yuno and Golden Dawn, so we'll have to see. But yeah, like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, so let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Black Clover. Here we go. Okay, so now midweek I have to reset all of my assets again. Great. I have to change. Well, do you think I need to change the thumbnail background? I mean, by the time this goes up, you'll have already seen if I have or not. The thumbnail background I got from the first episode, not from the OP. So I guess I could keep that. But I'm gonna have to, here's the good news is I've already been, it's always been a different link clip. Like, how after I do the intro, it has the little clip. It says reaction link in the description. Then we go to the discussion. That's been different every week anyway. Every episode, because they have the part of the OP with the title, and so that'll at least stay the same. But I am going to have to come up with... I'm going to have to do a new ED, at least, for the end of the video. I guess that's not too much. That's not too many new assets. And yeah, I guess I could keep the thumbnail background and the footage border the same. I don't know, it's just something I didn't think about, that 6.5 weeks in, 7 weeks in, basically, I basically have to now reset my video assets, basically, because we got a new OP. But that's the thing, it's like, it feels like we shouldn't be at a new OP yet. But that's because I'm watching this twice a week, as opposed to once a week. If we were watching this once a week, I'd be 14 weeks in right now. Instead, I'm only 7 weeks in. So that's fine. We have a new OP and a new ED, and I will adjust, basically. So we have the dungeon, which is interesting. I like it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm so getting into this now. Like, especially too, it's like, oh, it's a dungeon. It's like, ooh, you're scratching an itch. You're scratching an itch, man. Here's the thing, and I don't know if you know this. You might know this if you've been paying attention. I friggin' love The Legend of Zelda. Like, I've got Amiibo over here. I've got a Zelda calendar that every year I get a new Zelda calendar. I've got so many Zelda games. I've got the Zelda Game & Watch over here. In fact, if I can move some stuff over here, just off camera. I showed this off, actually, in a recent vlog that I did. But I have the Legend of Zelda Arts and Artifacts book. I got a couple books for Christmas. I don't really have a place to put them, so I'm just kind of shifting them around the room during the day. But I have that just over here. I have the Art and Artifacts book for The Legend of Zelda. I love The Legend of Zelda. I've loved The Legend of Zelda for 15 years, maybe, I want to say, probably. And so anything that's a medieval fantasy setting that has dungeons, ooh, it just scratches an itch, you know? And yeah, like actually, funny enough, last anime season, basically, I was looking through some anime to watch, and I just stumbled across this anime called Loner Life in Another World, and I read it, and it sounded like the world's dumbest isekai, and it was, but I kind of loved it, because the show kind of knew it was stupid, and it was just kind of that. It was, leveling up, your character, getting different stats and stuff, but then going into a dungeon and fighting creatures and stuff. And I like that. Now, I've seen a lot of dungeons, well, not a lot of dungeons, I guess, in video games, but I've seen some dungeons in video games where it's just, you go through and you fight enemies, like, I guess this is more in line with an RPG dungeon where you go in, you fight enemies, and that's basically that. Whereas I am used to more Zelda dungeons that are complicated puzzles, basically. Every room is a different puzzle. Whether you're doing 2D or 3D, everything is a puzzle. There are enemies, sure, but it's more about the puzzle aspect than going in and fighting creatures. But even still, I love this. I love this so much. It's so great. It's so great. It's so fun. I love it. It's scratching an itch, dude. I'm absolutely going through a medieval fantasy phase now, which is funny because, again, like I've said, I've been playing Zelda games for like almost 15 years now, I want to say, and the fact that I'm only now going through a medieval fantasy phase is really interesting. But between this and Frieren and Loner Life in Another World and stuff like that. Hell, yesterday I just started playing Fire Emblem Awakening, and that was scratching that itch too. It's just like, ooh, I'm getting into this stuff, man. I am absolutely getting into this stuff. So I'm getting into that medieval fantasy stuff. And so yeah, a new dungeon has appeared. It's so cool. I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, and we did get more about the episode itself. We got Luck. We're gonna perhaps get to know Luck a little bit more, which is interesting. I hadn't even thought of it, because with our first mission, we got to know Magna really well, and then the last not last episode, but the 2 episodes before it, 11 and 12, we got to know Vanessa a little bit more. We got to spend some time with her. So now we're getting to spend time with Luck. So I like this idea of going through and actually getting to know more of each of the Black Bulls. So granted, we didn't really learn anything about Luck that we didn't already, other than he is very good at detecting mana. So that's why he can so easily, find someone and be like, I'm going to fight you, because he can detect them. Now, the other thing is, he went off, but then Golden Dawn showed up. So I'm assuming that the mana that he locked into is not them. I'm assuming it's someone from the Diamond Kingdom, because they said that, we have to go in and basically loot this dungeon for all it's worth before our enemies in the Diamond Kingdom come in and take all that stuff anyway, So that's really interesting, doing more world building. It does remind me a bit of Full Metal Alchemist, where you had a Amestris in the center, and then Amestris was surrounded basically on all sides by different countries, but they never really did much with that. I mean, there was the Ishvalan genocide. There was, there's the desert between Amestris and Shing, I believe that's what it was called. But they kind of talked about enemies to the north, but they didn't really do anything. We didn't see much of that. So I'm hoping we get to see more of that in this show. It's not all just, whatever the enemies that they teased a couple episodes back is not just from the Clover Kingdom. I hope we get to see more of the other countries too. So I'm hoping that we're going to see folks from the Diamond Kingdom here, but we'll have to see. But Luck is very good at detecting mana, and he was able to find all the traps, and, Asta's there. He can literally nullify those traps with his sword, which is pretty cool. I do like they are still hinting at Noelle possibly having feelings for Asta. It is kind of a back and forth. There's a part of me that gets kind of worried about that, and I know you guys have said that Noelle will remain a relevant, great character throughout this show. But there's a part of me that in the back of my head that I'm concerned about. Like, well, if she has this love interest, she might be in love with Asta. That gives me Uraraka vibes, and I don't want that at all. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen with Noelle. So hopefully not. And again, you guys have pretty much told me that's not going to happen. So at the very least, she's not going to get sidelined. I'm pretty sure that's what you guys assured me of. But I mean, she could still have a romantic subplot with Asta. So we'll have to see. And then the plant monster. And then we had the plant monster. And then we had the plant monster, which got both of them. It got both of them. And was she able to... No, neither of them were able to... No, because she got captured. She got captured, tied up, which... I got a little nervous for a second, but this isn't that kind of show. Thank God. But she got tied up. Asta freed her. Then he got tied up. Then she got tied up again. So I hope we start making some progress on her. I hope we start making some progress on her with getting better. Okay, for a split second, I just had a train of thought because when I paused the video after the Petite Clover segment, I did see just the first frame, basically, of the preview, and it's just, it's Mimosa, and Klaus. For a split second, I was like, wait a minute, was Klaus her brother? And no. A different captain in the Magic Knights. Not Golden Dawn, not Black Bulls, obviously. But it was a different captain. He had, the hair going over his nose. That was her brother. So, I don't know. I hope that she does start getting a little bit better with her magic. So, but I don't know. I guess we've got a lot of time to kill. So, it'll be a while before we see. So, but then we had Yuno, which I didn't even think that was Yuno because I was looking at the magic. I was like, that doesn't look like Yuno's wind magic, but sure enough, it was. He made wind daggers that he threw at them, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Yuno was able to come in and save them, and it'll be interesting because we had that moment where this is the first time Asta's mentioned Yuno to Noelle, and she's like, "Wow, he does sound pretty amazing," and so now she gets to see it. So it'd be funny if she dropped whatever little feelings she has for Asta and just goes straight into a crush on Yuno. That'd be hilarious, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, interesting stuff. I'm curious to see where we're going. And where did Luck go? Did he encounter people from the Diamond Kingdom? And I don't know, how will they all interact? How will the Black Bulls and Golden Dawn interact? It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, really, really good stuff. I'm excited to see where we're going next time. Just this show kind of came along at the perfect time for me, where it's it's good old fashioned shonen anime. It's not, it doesn't have the problems that other shonen anime have had recently, and it's medieval fantasy, which just perfect time to come along for me when I'm getting into my medieval fantasy phase. Which also, I'm gonna also put, I think Vinland Saga also helped with that, despite not being a fantasy, but it just being a medieval show, I think also helped with that, So yeah, I'm just I'm at the perfect opportunity, the perfect point in my life to be watching this show, and I just absolutely love it. So So yeah, that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Black Clover reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.